Ladies and gentlemen.
There's a girl on TikTok that makes videos of her calling churches, different churches, and she has a recording playing in the background of a crying baby, and she asks these churches if they can help her with a small can of formula to feed her starving baby. And let me tell you something, it would make you sick at the number of churches that tell her no. But you want to know the church that I never once heard tell her no? The Church of Islam. I heard 2 or 3 videos where she called the Church of Islam, and every one of them bent over backwards to help her.
One of the most fascinating things about this social experiment going so viral across social media is how it is happening at a time where certain powers that be are trying their very hardest to spread as much hatred and fear and lies against Islam and Muslims as they possibly can. I mean, they are trying so hard. Yet in the midst of all of this effort, all of this plotting and planning they're doing, a non-Muslim woman who's an army veteran decides to call different religious organizations in America to see who will help her starving baby with just a small can of formula. And while the majority is refusing to help her, who, without hesitation, is there to help her starving baby? The Muslims. The very same people that are constantly being slandered. So then this story gets hundreds of millions of views across the internet, further revealing the truth about what Muslims are really like, what Islam really teaches, what positive contributions Muslims are here to make in America, while completely exposing all of the liars for who they are and the false agenda they are trying so hard to push. It really is a sight to see.
And then called 30 different churches, of which 9 said yes. Then the first mosque that she called directly offered her baby formula. So she's going viral right now. This is her account. It's incredible content, and it's incredible to see when you put these religious places to a test to see what the outcome is. I really recommend you guys watch it.
And almost all of the Christian churches are turning her away. Know who's not turning her away? The Buddhists and the Muslims, and for the most part, Catholics. These videos are going mega viral right now. If you are a church and you are tax exempt and you have somebody calling you in need of food, you should be providing people in your community with food. At the end of these videos, she's telling them like, hey, this is actually just a social experiment. And she's thanking the ones that are offering to help, and she's informing the ones that are not. A lot of the Christian churches are either forwarding her to like a voicemail box that she can't even leave a message on. The mosque that she called said, where are you located and what do you need? Those are the only 2 questions that they asked. The Catholic church she called, the lady was like, I'll give you money out of my pocket. I'm going to say it again. If you're not providing for the needs of your community when it comes to food, you need to lose your tax exemption status as a church. A lot of the Christian churches are also telling her to go to Catholic churches because they actually feed people. Some of them are asking if she's a member or not and saying that it's only for members. So your baby can starve because you're not tithing. Unbelievable.
First sign of a civilized society isn't tools, isn't weapons. It's when someone stops to help another person. That's why this moment hits so hard, because we all recognize at a subconscious level what civilization really looks like. Helping someone else when they need it. It's not tools, it's not buildings. It's helping. That's what makes us civilized, human. And that's why this social experiment has gone viral. Because deep, deep down, we all know We function as a society only when we help one another, especially when it comes to institutions that exist for the sake of God. But can I add, next time you hear Allahu Akbar, God is great, you've probably heard that on the news, in a movie, on a headline, and it's always mostly been associated with being uncivilized. Now you know you've been played, because Allahu Akbar, God is great, is the yes, is the main reason that lady got a yes from the mosque. Allahu Akbar is simply gratitude to God. It's what we say when we go to prayer. It's what happens when we pass an exam. God is great. It's what happens when we get a dream job or any job. God is great. It's what happens when we get good news. It's what grounds us when we get not so good news. Just as equally shocking it was to many that the churches didn't say yes, I hope it wasn't as abrupt or equally shocking when the mosque said yes, because that's the philosophy of Allahu Akbar. Please just remember this moment of this social experiment. It's a defining one, because it actually shows the true face of Islam. Allahu Akbar.
2 Baptist churches, predominantly African American or black, and 1 mosque are the only churches who, when she called and said, I have a starving newborn baby, can you help me with formula? Those are the only 3 out of about 30 churches that helped. This creator is literally playing in the background of her phone calls, screaming baby sounds. It sounds like a newborn is crying because it's very, very hungry. And these people from the church, tax-free, mind you, commanded by their religion to help, mind you, the whole reason they're there, mind you, have pretty much all said no. Except for 2 Baptist church and 1 mosque. So if you look like me and every week you are giving your money to a church, they need to be audited by their congregation immediately. Ask them where the money's going, or stop giving it to them. Immediately we will be donating to the mosque.
Churches have responded. 3 are going to really piss you off. 1 is probably going to bring you to tears. The 3 that are going to piss you off really just shows it's the church leaders that are the problem. I'm going to save the best for last and start with Germantown Baptist Church. This is the one where she called and they're like, yes, we have a benevolence program, but it's for active members only. Are you a member of the church? No. Sorry, we can't help your starving baby. For accountability, he calls the woman who called the office asking just for a small can of baby formula, calls her a folly, saying women are seductive, they know not what they do. Basically just blames her or his church failing to help a baby in need, and then says, I'm going to have my own social experiment. Raise your hand if a woman walked in right now and needed formula, if you'd be willing to help. And then 2 very interesting things are shown. First off, the woman filming this, thank goodness, because I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. A total of like 6 hands get raised in his entire congregation. It then pans to the whole congregation and you see that there's barely anyone in this church. Overlooking the fact that very few people who showed up for this service raised their hand willing to help a mother in need, was barely anyone in attendance to begin with. This was one of the mega churches. People are wondering if enough members of this congregation of Germantown Baptist Church saw what their church was unwilling to do and are simply no longer attending Sunday service. Brings me to Waverly Church of Tennessee, another church that told her no, and we now have a copy of the letter that the leader of this church sent out, complete with the name of the pastor who sent it out, exactly how he too is manipulating this entire situation so that him and his church take zero accountability for them being unwilling to help a 2-month-old that was starving, and placing all of the blame on the woman who's just trying to see what churches are truly churches. Church number 3, and my personal least favorite church, because this is in the state of Louisiana, in Baton Rouge. This is where I'm from, and this really pissed me off. This is Bishop Raymond W. Johnson. Again, another mega church. One of the mega churches that airs their sermons online for you to see. They also have a Facebook page. He goes on to say some horrible things about how his church was proven to be unwilling to help a 2-month-old in need.
We had a little situation. Y'all know if it was up to me, I would have been unplugged social media a long time ago. It's just a playground for good things, but also evil. So as much good as you can get out of it, you get a lot of evil. And the person who goes around calling churches and putting the voice of a baby crying in the background. And I say, really the person is low. Like I teach these men over here, folk want to apologize. I don't apologize to the devil. Sometimes Christians get so weak, you forgot we're supposed to rebuke evil. How to call churches and they trick people into things. I don't have a big box of money that I sit there and just tell them to pass by. Our staff gives money out of their pocket. Just the spirit of a witch. It's a witch. And my Bible says he do not allow that thing to live. So you have to watch when you fooling with God. I told him I have my scripture, Daniel chapter 5. What happened when you mess with the people of God? You taking your life into your own hands.
He called this woman who showed that this church was unwilling to help a baby in need, calls her the devil, calls her a witch, not once, but twice, threatens her, calls her low, says he was strict, the church was strict, and that his entire congregation should rebuke this woman who just showed that his church was unwilling to help a mother in need. Now it's time to get your tissues out, because this is the best one out of the 4 churches who responded.
I thank God for it, because I love ministry. I've always loved ministry. If you told me, that $95,000 would go into my church, a church that we take in about $22,000 or $23,000 a month, if you told me that $95,000 would flow in 6 or 7 days, I'd have said, you're crazy. Both if it did, I'd be shouting. Why is it strange? Why is it noticeable that the church did the right thing? Thank God for that. Because we're his people, and when we have the right to his name, so when our name is lifted up, his name is also lifted up.
Why does this man's voice sound so familiar? This is the leader of the very small church that was not only willing to help out a starving child, he's the one who took out a pen and paper and said exactly what flavor formula do you need, because I'm going to take care of you and your child. When he was addressing this social experiment, you heard that right. His church has received over $90,000 in donations to thank him for being a truly godly person. And on top of that, his sermon was, why is it not normal for churches to help a hungry child in need? Genius behind this entire social experiment drove all the way to this small church to meet the man who was willing to help her and a starving 2-month-old, not asking if she was a member, if she had donated to the church, if she was even saved. He was simply willing to help her because she was a person in need, and he was not going to let a child go hungry. So just like Raymond W. Johnson said in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, what happens when you mess with the people of God? You do in fact take your life in your own hands. And while he is being exposed for being the leader of a church unwilling to help a child in need, this man and his church are receiving God's blessings tenfold. He goes on to share he is going to give to his community and make sure that if he can help it, no child in his community is going to go hungry. Thanks to the donations his church has received for simply being willing to help someone in need.
If you guys can't help a starving 2-month-old, where's all the money going? Where's all the donations going? Several of those churches hung up on her. One of the churches she called, she personally spoke to the pastor there, and he told her he cannot help her. She asked them if they can go simply buy the formula for her and she can go pick it up, and they said no. And guess what happened when she called 2 mosques? The only 2 questions they asked her is, where are you right now, and what kind of baby formula do you need? And they both helped her. And keep in mind, every single church that she called is pro-life. So you guys are pro-life, but you don't care about a 2-month-old baby that's starving? So I'm gonna need you guys to take a step back and think about where your money and your donations are going to all these churches if they're not willing to help anybody. This is one of the best social experiments I've seen on the internet right now. And Nikolai has these churches shaking. So I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments. If a church isn't going to help a starving baby, who is?
I don't really have any resources to do that right now. The account where I have to give to community members.
No, we don't help with formula at all. Have you talked to anybody like at CCC?
Yeah, I've been calling everywhere all day.
Oh, okay. We are a small church, and as a result, we have limited funds, and so we tend to help those that are part of the church or come to the church, we're going to be there.
Because there's people that are right around you, local.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay? Bye.
We really don't have an estimated time just because we do receive a lot of requests here. Each applicant is different. It could take a couple of days. It could take a couple of weeks. We really just don't have a time frame there. Okay, you said it would take a couple of days to weeks?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, if approved. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But we don't have formula or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. That's all we have right now.
I hasn't ate all day, and I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure because we don't have cash here, and I'm not in control of finances.
Okay, well, unfortunately, that's our on our list, so.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Yep, have a good one.
All right, you too. Not even other churches.
Yeah. I wish I had something for you, ma'am. I'm very sorry.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
This woman is going viral for calling around to different churches to see if they will donate baby formula to a mother in need.
I am calling your church to test to see if they are willing to help feed a hungry baby. So far, I've already called 2 churches. Neither one of them were willing to help feed a baby. And honestly, I'm not even a church. And if somebody called me needing to feed a baby, I wouldn't just hang up the phone. I would find them a resource and get them formula for their baby.
Heritage Hope Church of God.
Hi, I was wanting to see if you all could help at all. I have a 2-month-old baby and I ran out of formula last night. I was wanting to see if y'all could help with formula. I just need the Good Start formula.
Okay. So how much do you need? I need to know about that.
I'm not sure. I think I usually have, I think it's maybe $17 at Walmart.
We can do this. I'll just see. Tell me what it is it's called in case I have to go get it because I'm a great grandfather. I used to pick up phone call. Okay. What's it called?
Good Start.
Good.
No, sir. Hey, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Hey, okay. I'm actually just testing churches to see which ones would actually help the community, and you just touched my heart. And I just want you to know that you are an amazing person.
Meet Nikali. At the time of this recording, she's gotten 9 yeses and 29 nos. And people all over the internet are talking about her social experiment. This is a crazy, interesting project. This has been a real eye-opener for me. This series needs to blow up. And I think this picture right here speaks for itself. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
So literally none of this surprises me. I was in a church for 10 years from the time I was like 20 or 21 until the time I was maybe 30 or 31. And I'm 42 now, so I've been gone for a decade. And this is one of the many reasons why I decided to leave. Most of the people that I went to church with would defend their pastor and the first lady and the church to the death. They don't care what the Bible says. They worship the people who are running these corporations. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I had to leave. All of these pastors are driving luxury cars. Mine had Mercedes-Benz and Range Rovers to drive in, and the church gave thousands and thousands in tithes and offerings every Sunday. And I know it was members in that church that were struggling with hospital bills and food insecurity that could not get help from that church. So I don't know why everybody is so shocked and surprised. I guess people who aren't paying attention. Again, y'all, I'm very observative. Nothing surprises me at all. So yeah, ladies, I will talk to you all next time. Bye.
That